By popular demand, we have got two more playbooks we are going to look at here in college football 27. First off, obviously, going to be the Rice Owls, their modern spread option offense. Look at some new formations, a few new plays they got in there. Overall, a super fun playbook to use. I actually ran it for a little bit in our online dynasty we run over on our second channel, OMT Dynasty. I'll put a link up here somewhere. And shout out to our guy Crayon Eater, who was using Texas State in our college football 26 dynasty. Also enjoyed himself this Rice offensive playbook. So, and then the other one we're going to look at, there are a lot of comments for both Rice and the Troy Trojans, their veer and shoot offense, bringing back those slow mesh RPOs. So expect that one to come in probably a day or two. But first and foremost, the spread option of Rice. Let's hop into practice mode. There's going to be no live gameplay in this one, just like in our other ones. Rice will be coming up soon, though, for our campus tour series. We're going through and getting a win with every single team in the game. I believe Rice is number 12, so they'll be up much sooner rather than later. They were actually also the team we won our first national championship with in college football 26. So good memories with this Rice team. Good vibes with this super fun playbook. So we're going to hop into practice mode here. We'll just keep it against SMU. Doesn't really matter. Keep it on Heisman. That's all fine. So we got 4 new shotgun formations. We have 1 new pistol formation. But first, we'll just take a look at the new plays that got added. And not much. Really just look like 3 formations that got things added in there compared to 26. So let's start with just regular old pistol wingback. And if you're not familiar with the Rice offense, a lot of it's going to look like the Service Academy, look like a flex bone style. But instead of using running backs, a lot of these formations use wide receivers. That's the wingback formation. So if you look at pistol wingback, for example, you have your quarterback, you have your halfback, right where you would expect them to be. But with a Service Academy team, you'd expect these two guys on the edges of the offensive line to be halfbacks. In this offense, they are going to be wide receivers, one B Jackson, the other one being D Lane. And it just hit me that I think Dickman, the man, the myth, the legend, he was unbelievable in college football 25. They kind of nerfed him a little bit in 26, might not be on the Rice Owls anymore. So I actually want to take a look at their depth chart really quick. They did get a new quarterback in here, Ja'Cory Brown from UCF, Silver Escape Artist, 88 speed. Looks like a great quarterback to run this style offense, because last year was the first year Rice had this type of offense. And it was a big change from what they had before. So it takes them a little bit, to try to get those quarterbacks, get the running backs, get the wide receivers, get the players on the field that are going to fit this system. Love where we're at here already just with his quarterback, Ja'Cory Brown. Halfback-wise, got Quentin Rampage Jackson leading the way, 84 overall, 91 speed. Wide receiver-wise, yeah, not seeing Dickman here. That's too bad. That's a shame. Because a lot of these offenses are going to run with 4 wide receivers. And really, I mean, our top 3 aren't bad here with Jackson, Reese, and Lane. Bryce and Lane. Bit of a drop off after that. So I do wish we had 1 more in here. I mean, you could just get a little bit more speed, and he's 6'4". Put Jonathan Harrell in there. I don't hate that idea to have him be our wide receiver 4 instead of Clark. We're just going to leave it kind of all as is. In tight ends, you're not going to see out there a ton, and thank goodness, because boy, are these tight ends rough. So that's the skill players here on Rice. Take a look at some of their new plays. Starting pistol wingback, we got 3 new plays in here, and it is going to be these 3. A counter run, a play action counter, and a read option, all utilizing that same motion from our right wingback. My only problem with these is those are the only plays that have that wingback going in motion. All the other ones, like we saw down here, is your left wingback going in motion. But considering this is a symmetrical formation, here's some more left motion, I don't think it's that big of a deal, because like say we come out in this counter run, right? And these are the only 3 plays, has our right wing back going in motion. But if we just flip this play, nobody actually moves, and it's still going to be our left wing back, going to be the one coming across like it's for a standard triple option. Who's coming across like in a standard triple option? So I don't think it's a big deal. But the actual counter run here, I feel like this is only really good if that slot corner is going to be following the motion across the formation, because you can see from our blocking here, that slot corner on the left is unblocked. So ideally, he is going to be following that number 7 when he swings over to the right. If not, we have an unblocked defender kind of right where we want this run to go. So let's go ahead and give this a snap. See, he does follow him, which is good. Try to let that blocking set up. Can we get outside here with the rampage? A little bit. So we're able to get a few yards on that. But yeah, checking blocking again, we see that outside slot corner getting left unblocked, goes in motion. Oh, I forgot to flip it that time, but it still got blown up either way. So now we'll remember this one's actually going out to the right. So we check our blocking over here. That looks pretty solid. Got the safety up top unblocked, but there's no slot corner. So it's probably best to run away from the slot corner unless they are running a lot of man. A lot of things where that slot corner is going to follow that motion. If we run this to the opposite side now, and the one unblocked defender actually kind of came down into the box, able to make that tackle, but there's some potential with these plays, but I honestly don't really love them. At least that counter run. The read option is a really nice addition to have in here, especially with an 88 speed quarterback like Brown. And then we can just look at the rest of the formation here really quick. If you've never used Rice, if you've never seen Rice, it's going to be a lot of motion. It's a lot of triple option. It's a lot like the flexbone formations the service academies have, but from a pistol or even a shotgun set that we'll see here in a little bit. But this wingback's probably the best example of that, because you can just see right from the play art, compare this to like a flexbone normal. The only difference is where the quarterback is. He's in a pistol depth here instead of just being under center. Other than that, it's pretty much the exact same formation as a flexbone normal and a lot of the same plays. You gotta have a lot of triple options going to the left and going to the right, which is great, especially when it's the same guy going in motion, going both ways too. So you can run that triple option to the strong side with your left wing back going in motion. You can run it going to the weak side with the same wing back going in that exact same motion. So you can't just fly off to the right to go try to blow up a run here. You have some decent quick pass options. You got some more shovel options. There's going to be options all over the place. Don't worry about it. Here's another triple option. You got some deeper threat passing plays with like PA verticals, PA wheelies. And I'll go up here to more triple options going over to the weak side. These aren't utilizing any motion or anything, unlike these three plays. But my big thing with these and why I like the Rice playbook so much, under center, I have a tough time making those reads fast enough in the flexbone offense. We try to make it work the best we can, but being in a pistol set or a shotgun set gives you that extra little bit of time to be able to make those reads. So if you're going to run a triple option, for me, for an older gentleman like myself, having just that little bit of extra time that being in a pistol or a shotgun set gives you helps tremendously. So that's a big reason why I like Rice. Something different, something fun. So yeah, we got those three plays in pistol wingback. We have one new play in pistol wingback slot. This pass right here, that PA double post. So you got kind of a interesting looking crosser coming from your outside receiver on the right there. B, you got a crosser on Y, deep post over on Y, on X, then your wing back to the right, swinging back behind, going over to that left flat. Not a bad play. We can call it once just to try to see how it looks, because I've tried this a couple times and I don't know, maybe it's just the Rice offensive line that's not very good, but I really don't have too much time. You can see B and Y get open quite a bit, but you do need some time to actually make those throws. So a lot of times we just end up taking a little check down here and they kind of bump right into each other, but he still gets open, but it's that bump throws off the timing just enough. But we can see he actually did get open there. We did have enough time to do that one. This one looks kind of scary. Oh, he got through there okay. B kind of just runs into the middle of the defense there. Let's take an easy check down to our starting halfback over there, Mr. Rampage Jackson. So not a bad looking pass play, but you need some time and you need your receivers to not run into each other is going to be a big thing, a big thing on that one. So elsewhere in this wing back slot, we're going to see a lot of the same kind of stuff throughout all the different wingback sets. Much like the flexbone, you have a lot of the same kind of base plays, just out of different looks, out of different formations. Wingback trips, we're going to see more triple options, more read options, play actions. It's kind of like the flexbone pistol trips that Navy had last year. I'm pretty sure it was Navy. Or like the flexbone trips open, I want to say it's called, something like that, with a smash play, with the all go, with some different triple option things in there. You got a wingback tight. Pretty much can be a flexbone tight, same kind of thing, but a little bit better pass options, I think. And having those wide receivers in those spots obviously is going to help with the pass game compared to having your second or third string halfback in those spots. Overall, why I think I like having those wide receivers at the wingback position. They're still going to be fast, they're still going to be shifty, but they're going to be a lot better route runners for you here too. So again, more different motions, more different options, but some good standard just kind of built-in pass plays here. Like that curl flat's a nice one. PA crosser's not bad. Good options in here. Then a wing back, double tight. This is going to be a tighter formation, more for running the ball, more options, more motions, or all sorts of things. Now we can stick in pistol here for just a second to look at the new formation that got added for Rice. pistol strong. We'll take a look at who's out on the field on this one. I believe this is a pretty standard one. You're going to have your quarterback, your halfback. You have another halfback right there who I believe is actually going to be the fullback, but we can double check that really quick. And then it's going to be a tight end and 2 wide receivers. It's a pistol strong you'd find in a lot of different playbooks. I feel like there's not a ton that makes it specific to Rice, but it is your halfback 2. So use your halfback 1 and your halfback 2. But it doesn't really feel much like a Rice formation. You do have a power option. Other than that, you know, a little lead triple option. No real crazy motions, no super fun, interesting plays, in my opinion. Still a nice power run formation, still some good things in here, but it's just missing that extra little Rice flair to help put it up over the top. So that is their pistol formations. Let's take a look at shotgun, where we have 4 new formations that got added here, and 1 wingback set that actually got quite a few new plays. 9 total plays added to wingback off trip. So let's go find that first, then we'll talk about the new formations that got put in here. So wingback off trips, quarterback, halfback, wide receiver at your tight end spot on the left next to your left tackle. That's going to be a wide receiver in this formation. Wide receiver out wide, and 1 tight end over to the right. So 3 wide receiver, 1 tight end, 1 halfback set. And just from how these formations are, if you do want to use this playbook for Dynasty, you're getting some big boys, some big blocking wide receivers, especially with how good wide receiver blocking has been so far in College Football 27, is going to be a must. It is going to help so much. So let's take a look at the new plays in wingback off trips. Like we mentioned, we have 9 in here. And the first one start actually right down here with a jet sweep, a PA jet sweep, and a motion quarterback blast. Again, 3 plays utilizing that same type of motion, but 1 actually going outside of the right, one being a quarterback run, kind of going up the middle, and then 1 kind of a deeper shot pass play there with the PA jet sweep. Love seeing the similar motions, love seeing it result in 3 very different plays. Then we have a QB power G. This one I believe is also new. Yes, it is. Same with shock, same with the RPO read flat corner. Every new formation in this game that we have seen so far, pretty much for all the service academies and for Rice, they're going to have some form of RPO read flats. Not surprised by that one at all. Then our last 3, I had to do the math in my head there for a second. Our last 3 new plays come right here. You have a counter, a PA jet cross, and a power. So the counter is also going to be a quarterback run, much like the power run is. It's going to kind of depend on what defense you're going up against on which one might be better, because if they're following that motion guy, that counter run going back to where the motion guy started from, or you have power where if the defense is kind of sitting still, you have that motion coming over and turning into an extra blocker going over to that way. So either way, you can get the numbers advantage depending on what you're noticing the defense response be to that motion. If they're following, the counter is going to give you good numbers going to the left. If they're staying put, the power is going to give you good numbers going over to the right. So I really like having those 2 plays now in this wing back off trip. So these are the 9 new plays in here. Keep fumbling over my words. I get excited when we see some new triple option stuff in here, but that is really the only formation that came over from 26 that they still have in 27 that has new plays is this one, the wingback off trips. But like I said, well, we have technically 4 new formations. Really, it's kind of 3, and I'll explain why here in just a second. If we take a look at, we'll start with wingback slot offset. Technically a new formation, pretty much the exact same as just a regular wing slot offset, which is in a lot of different playbooks. The only difference now with this being the wingback slot offset, instead of it being 2 tight ends off to the right, it is going to be 1 wide receiver, the one furthest to the right on the line there, right next to a tight end. So you get an extra receiver out there, you take 1 tight end off, which might be a negative in some aspects for blocking, but definitely a positive when it comes to some of the pass plays in here. And there's some pretty good pass plays, but again, this is more similar to just like a regular wing slot offset that you can find in 1,000 different playbooks. That one's in so many. No real crazy motion plays. You got a few jet motions in there, nothing too much. An 0-1 trap run is nice. The smash halfback seems not bad because your B receiver is going to be the wide receiver on this instead of a tight end like in the regular wing slot offset. So having that quick little out route that B is on in there could do really well against man coverage compared to having a slower tight end in that same spot. There's some advantages, some disadvantages, but a technically new formation for Rice here. Let's go take a look. We'll just go from the beginning here. In wingback tight slots, another new formation for Rice. It's a new formation. Of course, they're going to have an RPO read flat wheel. Just wouldn't be a new formation in college football 27 if we didn't have an RPO read flat wheel. You have a nice little lead read option there, especially with that 88 speed quarterback. You had PA wheel slide, and of course you have a mesh. Every new formation we've looked at from the Service Academies to Rice, RPO read flat wheel, mesh, a constant, which is if there's two they're going to put in all of them, that's a pretty good two pass options for these playbooks that are mainly going to have us running the ball. But you also have a QB power to QB blast, a nice little combo of quarterback runs there. Obviously, you can tell from the play art, the power has your left guard pulling more towards the outside, blast much more of an inside looking run there. You have a speed option going out to the right and a standard read option. So you have a regular read option, lead read option. Kind of sets up better if you're keeping it with your quarterback to try to go outside to the right edge there. So two new wing bone formations still for us to look at. Let's go to whichever one is next between close and slot offset as we work our way through here. And it is, no, we already looked at slot offset. It's gonna be close and weak unbalanced, which we actually zoomed right on past. So number one thing I noticed about this, on this first play we get to, that halfback ISO, a very good run. You have that wing back go on the right, kind of going back towards the middle, really gets good numbers for an inside run. In this verticals play, I think has a lot of potential. A lot of potential. You can hot route your tight end on this. He's RB, it's kind of hard to tell. I do think there's some different things we can do with him to potentially open up A as he kind of releases and goes upfield. The problem is they do run into each other a lot if you put him on anything going over to the left. So you could just do like a corner out on him and, you know, do a flat on your halfback. Now we got a little flood concept going over to the right hand side there. You could do a drag. This is what I was messing with, and I actually liked it quite a bit because against a lot of zone coverages, that initial linebacker is going to kind of stay down on that drag, and it opens up a good soft spot. Find Hardman, but you'll see right there they all run into each other, and it was just a big man blitz. Way to work with me there, SMU. But yeah, they'll run into each other if you try anything like this, but I do think there's still potential there. And of course they run man again, but the drag's actually going to win, but also our tight ends suck. So some good things, some good potential I think in this. It's pretty sneaky little streak that your A receiver goes on. See if we can fit this one right in there, and they all get kind of distracted by everything else going on. It's this really sneaky streak with A. Just might mess around with the hot routes a little bit and find some different things you can do to try to help maybe open him up a little bit. But I just love having that little, like, it's not even really a streak. It's kind of like an inside fade he's on. But I think that there's a lot of potential there if you find yourself behind the sticks running some of these wingback things. A potential deep shot play there in a playbook that can be kind of tough to find them, at least in wingback. They have some other really good formations in here too. We have a QB blast, a jet touch pass, only 9 plays in this formation. So our last new formation to look at is going to be wingback close, which again, if we look at this and compare it to like a flex blown close, the only real difference is in the backfield. Obviously this is a shotgun set. It's going to have the halfback to the right of the quarterback instead of directly behind him like you would be in an under center flex bone. But other than that, very similar. Get some good quick strike pass plays in here, some RPOs, of course a mesh and a read flat wheel. It's a new formation. What else would we possibly be expecting here? Another return RPO read flat wheel, some different return motions, some different things in here, some triple options. No crazy motion going around, like no big swing motions for setting up triple options and things, which is kind of a bummer, but still some really solid pass plays and some just some fun things in the wing back close. So elsewhere in this playbook, you do have some good just standard formations here too. I always really like this double Z close, that Z cross or Z cross out, Y sail, escape. All good, pretty pass options to have. You have a doubles, Y off trips, all of these other things in here. Get an empty bunch wide, a 5 wide receiver. But overall, good options. Just about no matter what you want to do, you can pass if you have to, even out of a lot of these wingbacks. Like wingback tight X split, that halfback attack is nice. You have some design QB runs in here, power read, a play action to build off that power read, some different motions. Let's see, let's just pick a formation. I'm trying to remember when I ran this, what were my favorite formations? I do think this wingback off trips sets up really nice. That motion duo, motion triple option, getting that motion from the wingback on the left, being able to take an inside run and outside run, do your different things, utilizing that same motion, mixed it in with these 3 new plays they added, the counter and the power run. I think there's 3 of the new plays they added in here because they did add 9. Really gives you a lot of flexibility, a lot of fun different things you can do out of this wingback trips. Wingback over, let's see, I'm trying to remember anything super fun in these other ones. And we see more motion with more different plays going on there. A little zone toss. That zone toss I don't love because that guy doesn't go in motion before the play, so you kind of have to wait a second for him to try to get out there and try to set that edge for you, which is kind of tough. But that motion halfback wheel is nice. A little cross screen against the right defenses. You can really catch some people off guard with that. And this wingback doubles off weak. Different kind of orbit return motions going on there. More motions from that right wing back, setting up a read option, setting up a triple option, setting up a load option, setting up all sorts of fun different things. No motion triple option going out to the left, a read wide flat, more RPOs, more trickery throughout this Rice offense. Not as much trickery, I don't think, is what we saw in the service academies, but still a lot of really good, a lot of really fun things in the Rice wingbacks. Something I would recommend you at least try. Live a little bit. You can get out a bunch, you can try some different things and have some fun in this gosh dang game. That's why I've always recommended people at least try the flex bone. If this is more your speed, give it a shot, man. Have some whimsy, have some fun with the Rice Owls. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. We started our campus tour series. This is going to come out on either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm not entirely sure yet. So campus tour is going to be in the evening, 6 p.m. Central. We'll still be doing playbook reviews, but those are mostly going to be just kind of for the teams that really stand out in doing that campus tour. The teams that really kind of stand out as we go through the campus tour. Like I could do one with NIU because they have that really good trips that only them in Utah State have. That's the benefit of doing something like that. We're going to be using and looking at every single playbook in this game, and we'll do some reviews for the ones that really stand out above the rest. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I will see you guys next time. Until then, take it easy.